All right, what's going on, everyone? It's Nick with Us versus Herd. If it's your first time here, you like the content, hit subscribe. If you want to get notifications for when we go live or post a video, tap the bell. And if you want to join our UVH fam, links are below to our free options trading group along with our Discord. If you're here right now, say what up. What's going on, Jeff? How you doing? First live stream of the week. Last week I missed, just didn't have enough time, so I did a around at 9 p.m. I did a combo like reviewing of my trades along with a watch list. So if you guys haven't been noticing, what I have been doing the last few weeks is I'll do a live stream to review my trades for the day 30 minutes after my close, and then I'll do a watch list at 9 p.m. Central. So hopefully that works out for everybody there. A little parched today, you know. All right. Let's get this going. If you made money today, comment got paid. If you lost money today, comment learned a lesson. Definitely want to see what you guys did today. Today we had a pretty big gap up day. You know, S&P's up 33, Dow's up 261, and Nasdaq's up 107 right now. You know, we had this gap up on the SPY from like 290, well, we'll call it 291, and we opened up at like 293. So, you know, pretty decent. However, we did pretty much just ping around within $1 the whole day until we broke out at the end of the day. So, you know, took us all day to finally break out of this zone between 292.50 and 293.50 on the S&Ps or SPY. But getting into my trades here today, I guess what I could say is, you know, based on the video, done trading before noon. You know, I did most of my trades before noon. However, I was up today. I'm up $77, so not as good so far. We're off to a slow week. Yesterday I was up 60. Today I'm up 77, but 30 minutes into open, I was up already. Like within 30 minutes of open, I was up $106. Probably should have just kind of called it a day instead. We gave some back, then we went up some, and we went down some, and you know, sometimes over trading. So I think the goal for every trader is just to be done early. You know, hit some of your goals. You don't have to be involved in every trade. You don't have to get in on every trade. Just hit your goals and exit. You know, put options on MLM and AVGO, made decent profit. Nice. Yeah, if you're here right now and you made money, comment got paid. If you lost money today, comment learned a lesson. So yeah, as you can see, we had more winners than losers, and obviously that's always the goal. It was I didn't really have any big winners today. I think the market, in terms of if you didn't have swing positions, it definitely would have been a lot harder. I didn't have swing positions. I know a lot of people that made, you know, 100%, over 100% on SPY or on Roku. You know, if you played the gap up, great. I just haven't been swinging positions here. But let's get into some of these trades here. So we'll start. As you can see, I did quite a few trades here, but this morning I hit Starbucks pretty good. I only had one winning trade. I was up over 30% on Starbucks this morning. I bought two of the 93.50 puts for 68 cents, and then I sold them for $1. Yo, Starman, what's going on? Got paid yesterday, but no trades today. Good man. So Starbucks, what was happening with Starbucks while I was shorting it is, as you can see here, pre-market, they actually lowered their guidance for 2020, and it has recovered most of it. You know what my goal was this morning? I opened that position at 8:46 a.m. So I caught the down move right in here, and then I closed it at 9:07. So then I closed it on this bar right here. So I opened it on this bar, closed on this bar. Thankfully I did. You know, I took my dollar. I had the 93.50s. Let's see how well we timed those 93.50s, because now they're only worth 18 cents. bid and ask kind of wide here. But yeah, these 93.50s, yeah. Oh man, I sold it at $1. Almost caught the high. Almost caught the high of the day. Nice. So I bought them for 68 cents, sold them for $1, and then as you can see now, they're worth 18 cents. So, you know, that's why you got to take your profits. People are being greedy. You know, if you're being greedy on these, like if my goal, I thought I was gonna maybe hit 902, but you know, in this market, being up like 30%, I've been taking profits just because it's been dangerous. Because too many times you see something like this, I would have held out for another $14, another 7 cents. You know, I sold it at $1. You know, it really wasn't worth it. So after I sold it for $1, it just came straight down. I mean, this is a pretty good example on why you should take profits. Thankfully I did. However, I tried to short Starbucks a couple other times. I lost small. I'll see if I can show you here on this screen. So I tried to short the 93.50s again later in the day, so about like 40 minutes later, and then I got stopped out. And when I say that I got stopped out, it was like a mental stop. So when it was pushing, I tried to short it up in here, but as it was continuing higher, I exited, and thankfully I did, because I got back. You know, I opened those 93.50s. Sometimes one of the things that I like to do, you're like, why did you trade the 93.50s again? Because sometimes I'll trade the ranges. So what I'll do, one of the things that I like to do is like, okay, let's say I'm trading Starbucks on the way down here, hit the 93.50s, I cash out, it comes back out. I thought it might get topped out right here around like 94.50. However, it didn't. But sometimes it will go back to the 94.50. I'll trade the same strike and watch it come back down to 93, and I'll just keep trading the ranges. I tried to do that today, but then I gave up a little bit of profit. So I lost $7, and I had 3 contracts, so I lost $21 on it. So we were up decent. Then I lost $21, and then I lost another $18 later in the day. I should have just called it quits because I tried to short it again. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but this afternoon, I mean, pretty much all day has been pretty boring. I mean, we were just kind of pinging back and forth. I mean, like Starbucks, we were kind of just hanging out. I was also trading Win. It was just, you know, Costco was just kind of hanging out. Nvidia had some nice two-sided action, but you know, I wasn't trading that. And then going into Win. And then this was my other back-to-back winner here. Win, small gainer of I had 2 contracts. I sold one. I bought them for $1.38 at 904. Oops, there you go. 904. I had the 109 put. I didn't buy calls all day long today. Which is, you know, not good. So Win gapped up on like the Hong Kong news. So I was trading it. So I was trading the 109 put here. 109 put, yeah, initially. So on Win, the thing about Win though is you gotta be careful trading Win because it's a pretty slow mover. So this is what the options look today on the 109 put. I bought them for $1.38, and I sold one for $1.61, and then another one for $1.57. So we made like 20% on that. Could have made a little bit more. As you can see, it did, the 109 put did continue higher. I was trading this on the way down here, and then it was kind of flattening out. So then I sold. So I sold it at 904, and I got out at 910. So it was pretty quick. So I sold on this bar here, and then obviously continued a lot higher to 240. Yo, DVD, what's going on? If you're here right now, say what up. Want to see who's in the chat here. If the video is of value to you, I would definitely appreciate you if you hit the like button. Really helps me out. As you can see here, Win's just falling apart after hours after it did this huge climb. So this might be in play for tomorrow. What I was looking for on Win here was right up here, this like 110 area rejection level where it got rejected. the other day. So it came back. I touched 110 today almost. Kind of came back up here, just got rejected. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But win could be in play. But you got to be careful. The bid and the ask get a little wide, so you got to underprice a little bit. Billy, what's going on? And then I tried to short again. You know, we lost like $14 here, and then I had a $4 gainer, and then I pretty much called it quits at 11.12 here. So, you know, I was up at that point like $90 on the day, and sometimes like, you know, sometimes like your initial trades, if you're hitting off the gate and you're having a good day, sometimes it's good just to step away, because then as the day was going on, volume was just drying up, and then it gets harder to like day trade. And I've been pretty much exclusively day trading. Netflix, and honestly, this morning, even though I was making money, I have some other things going on in my personal life that I wasn't in the best of moods this morning. And it's not that I was being an emotional trader, but when you're like not in the best mood sometimes, it definitely does impact your trading. Like it definitely, I would say, if you're not having a good day, it doesn't matter about trading. Like I was having a great morning, everything was going right, I was winning trades, things were going fine, but other things going on in my life, I wasn't very happy this morning. I was a little depressed and just kind of mopey, and I knew that if I was going to continue like that, like it was going to start impacting my trades. And you know, that Netflix, I just abruptly closed because I just wanted to step away, and you know, I didn't want to cause any more damage. And Netflix, I had a small loss. You know, we lost. Let's see here. We lost about $21. You know, not a big deal, but that's my only trade on Netflix. Netflix, I opened the position at 9.12, and then at 9.21 I closed out for the $21 loss. And what I'm looking here at 9.12. So 9.12, we were up in this area. I was trying to short this spike that would come down, but then I just closed it out like literally 9 minutes later. I just closed it out, and then we had this big candle down, and it would have been profitable if I would have held. But the other thing with Netflix, it's definitely difficult to trade this choppiness. Obviously, there's a lot of fade outs. I mean, if you didn't catch us on the way down, this gets very difficult. I mean, I probably would, if I held, I would definitely have cashed out on this candle here. But then you kind of start believing that after that you can do it again, and then it'll try to retouch here, and then I would have probably shorted this candle, and it was coming down, and I probably wouldn't have sold, and then probably would have got wrecked on this candle. So maybe it was a blessing that I sold for a $21 loss, because I probably would have made some money here, tricked myself into placing another position here, you know, think I'm making money, and then get wrecked the rest of the day. So maybe it was a blessing in disguise. I don't know. Yes, Starman, I know we're all human. But I guess what I gotta say is, like, if you're feeling a certain type of way and you're not entirely focused on your trading, you kind of have to step away. You know, you can't just keep going at it. Alta, I had one trade on today. It was actually pretty good. It was actually a pretty good winner. It was a small winner. You know, within all these trades, I pretty much only left for like 45 minutes was like the longest. So I bought the 230 put for 214 and the 250, and I sold it for 255. You know, about 20 minutes later. What I want to say though about Alta here, the pricing is pretty much intrigued me today, because I was watching the pricing, and Alta did hit a new weekly low today. DD1, what is our usual stop? So it's not like a percentage loss. I normally look at, I don't set a stop for like what the options is doing. I rely on what the stock price is. So if that makes sense to you. So the 230 put. So I sold mine for 255. It's currently going between, let's call it like $4. Bid and ask is kind of wide. So what's interesting here is, so I put the position on at 957 for 214. So right in here, I put the position on, and then I sold it for 255 when it bounced up here, which was really good. But if you kind of look when it was flat today, when Alta was flat, it really killed the premiums, brought it from to like 250, even hit $1.32. We probably should have reloaded on this, like implied volatility. Implied volatility went down because people thought it was going to go back up or just stay the same. It was flat for hours, and this is a nice example of what like a flat chart will do to your option price. So if you think that, because I caught it on the way down here and it was moving rather quick, it really boosts up implied volatility, and it was moving down pretty consistently. And then when it stalls out, so for me, it wouldn't have paid out to have that position and held on to it. So that's why I'm glad that I sold it, because then it would have came back down to like a losing position. Even if it came down to $2, I paid $2.14 for it. So it came down to like a losing position if it were to held it. So that's why when you have these big red bars and they're going in your favor, that's why you sell on those. Otherwise, when it flattens out like this, you kind of get in trouble. And then these hit. I mean, I can't believe these were 128. Probably should have reloaded. And this would have been a good example of one to reload, because once it stayed the same, it eventually cracked below into close and ran its way up to 370 it closed at. So instead of reloading Starbucks, Alta would have probably been a way easier short to reload here. I should have played this right here. I got out, nice profit. I probably should have bought more than two, but I didn't want to go too big because Alta is definitely like a face ripper. I'm new here. Do you trade on Thinkorswim or just use the charts? I just use the charts. I'm actually trading on Tastyworks from here. As you can see, this is where I have my orders here. So I've been trading pretty much only on Tastyworks. I haven't opened a trade on Thinkorswim in like 8 months. So Alta, I think Alta I did pretty well on yesterday. I made like 160 on Alta, and today I made another like 40. So we're doing pretty good trading Alta, but you got to be careful with it because the bid and the ask are kind of wide. So you gotta underprice that mid price and try to haggle yourself a little bit. Don't just keep hitting the bid and don't hit the ask when you're looking to buy or looking to sell. You're going to get yourself in trouble. But this is a good example like why holding is not always in your best interest when implied volatility goes down, but then it spiked up. So you can see implied volatility went down a little bit today, and that's why that option, like, hey, we're lower than we were at 232 when you sold, but the option price is getting cut in half. And this is a really good example of that. And then I think that wraps up my trades for today. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Any stocks you guys want to look at? I have been splitting up my videos into like reviewing my trades after close and then doing a watch list later that night. Do you guys want some feedback for you guys? Do you think that is something that you want me to continue doing? Do you want me to do it all in one? What do you guys think? Looking for some feedback. Starman, thanks. Appreciate it, man. Always great hanging out with the UVH fam. If you guys aren't part of the Discord, I'm in the Discord pretty much all day, every day. The links are below if you want to join. When bid and ask are a little wide, do you think it would be better to have an order in the middle? Yeah, so like what I would do, Starman, let me show you what I would do here. I'm going to show you exactly what I did. So like let's say I'm interested in this. Let's say I'm interested in. Well, we'll do the 230 put again. So if I'm interested in this, if I know the mid price is 390, I'll actually come down to like 370, and then I'll work my way up in like I'll work my way up in like $5 increments. So I'll go like 370, don't get a fill. I'll try 350, 375, and then I'll try 380, and then and then if I get close to the mid, if I don't get a fill at the mid, I'll try like 395, and I'll go a little bit above. And if I don't get a fill, then I just won't place the order. That's typically that's typically how I wanted to. That's how I would play it. I wouldn't ever click on. I wouldn't just go hit on ask and then push that through, because you're gonna leave a lot when you're trading stock like this. You're gonna leave a lot of money on the table. Like, you can make money on this, but you got to be very careful about your orders. You can't just go all willy nilly, and that's why I think for like traders on Robinhood, I think that's why trading stocks like this you lose money on. So it's another example why Robinhood would screw you, is because you can't necessarily see the bid and the ask that well, especially if you're a newer trader, and you would just place the order for 420 and not think about it, and then you would get filled, but you're not thinking about how much money you just left on the table. I mean, there's $60 here. There's $60 width here. So, do trade reviews is good. I like the current video schedule, Jeff. I wanted to wait to ask this question since it's a non-stock question, but Cubs or White Sox? Cubs, baby. AVGO chart. Yes, I can. Yeah, I don't typically trade stocks like Alta, but because of the range it's having, there's been a lot of opportunity on there. I think AVGO is difficult to trade. Let's see what their volume is. I mean, because these guys are low volume. The one thing about Alta, at least they have volume. These are pretty low volume here. Is reason why I don't typically trade. The calls look like they have a little bit of volume. I typically like volume over 500 would be preferable. These are 200, 136. So I don't typically trade things like this. However, I do know that there's been a lot of people in our chat that have been trading AVGO and making some cash. Because this is wrapped up in like the China trade war, but pretty nice range here, 270 up at like the 290 area. So definitely good range. It's getting a little bit tight at the top of the range here, but if you're looking at the daily chart, I mean, there's definitely some two-sided action here. I mean, yesterday I don't know what the heck happened, but this was a humongous gap up here and just ripped from 278 to 183. I mean, obviously, if you didn't catch this move today, if you didn't catch the gap up, I mean, pretty boring all day today. But if you didn't catch that, if you swung some calls, I mean, you won big, you won. And I wonder. Let's check these. Let's check the 282s, 50s here. I just want to see what the pricing did on these calls here. Yeah, these were going at 55 cents yesterday, and this is another example why I didn't pay to hold, because once that implied volatility, these went as high as 430 and never saw that high again. After you could have made all your money right here and be done for the day. Went from $1.50 up to 430, and then you'd be done for the day, or otherwise then you're just waiting around and it's eating up your premium. Thoughts on AMD and NAO? I know NAO has an earnings report coming soon. AMD, oh man, I didn't actually watch AMD today. This would have been a really good short. If you shorted like the, let's check the. Yeah, this is another one getting tight range up here. It tagged this. This is kind of like what SPY has been doing. He's tagging the top of these ranges and then dropping down to like 30. So we're looking at a tight range here. And if it starts getting tighter and tighter and tighter, this is either going to explode back up to the 35, or we're going to come back down to like 28. But yeah, the puts. And the puts must have been way overpriced yesterday. I think they took premium out of the market today, because everything I'm checking is kind of like lower. So you got to be careful about that. They sucked some premium out, because all these puts, if you held puts from yesterday, you would have lost. I mean, if you obviously, let's see what these 31 puts are going for. Yeah, you would have to. Yeah, even though it was going lower, yeah, they sucked the premium out of it. Whew. Man, that's tough. That's tough. That's. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. Right at open, you can see these go up to 40 cents and then drop down to 20. And then we back up to 47. So you gotta wait all day for it to see 40 cents again. And they really sucked the premium out like that. New perspective. You've been trading for a while. Kind of want to know what your account is like. I guess in what aspect? I've been kind of new perspective due to like some privacy. I'm trying to figure out how to balance. I'm trying to figure out how to balance my privacy. I mean, I show you guys all my trades pretty much every day. I'm just trying. I'm kind of a private guy, so I'm trying to figure out how to balance. I'm trying to figure out how to balance that out. You know what I mean? Like how much information is too much information, but how much is enough so that way you guys trust me. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm gonna start exposing my trades, talking about what I trade, how I trade, and exposing it that way. And then, you know, if you guys expect more, then we can talk about that. You know. I'm trying to balance that. I'm trying to balance that out. So you guys let me know. Oh, NIO. NIO is the other one. NIO is another one wrapped up in the China trade war. I mean, this is now down in penny stock land, sub $3. I mean, it needs a catalyst. I mean, NIO is like the Tesla Chinese competitor. This is like the Chinese competitor to Tesla. So right now, obviously, anything wrapped up in the China trade war is not doing good, and I think NIO it needs a catalyst. Otherwise, there's just a bunch of sellers. You know, right now there's just a bunch of bag holders, and the problem is once it comes back up to like $4, people are going to sell like it did here. It hit $2.45, and then came up to $4. So people sold. It'll probably go up to $4. So it needs a catalyst. What's your average percentage gain per position? It's around 20 to 30%. So I definitely think that NAO, it would be a tough one to trade under $10 just because you're waiting for a big move. I mean, these guys, 1,800 volume on these today. Let's see. So some people are betting that it's going to go up eventually because if you look here on the monthlies for the $3 strike, there's 3,000 volume today. There's on this week. There's 1,800 volume, and then we have 2,000 volume on the $3 strike. So eventually, I think someone's thinking that it's going to hit. I would say that's probably getting at the bottom of the range here on NIO, but it's not going to be a fast mover. If I were to trade this, I'd probably buy these bad boys right here. I don't think I'd want to go out any further. Actually, yeah, you could. Yeah, you could. I would maybe buy these January 2021s because it could coast. It could coast for quite a while. I would probably buy these 135 days out, so we're about 4 months out. I'd probably buy these right here, and see if it will hit. See if it hit $3. That way you have time. If it goes lower, you can adjust. Andrew Gonzalez, yes, Discord is free. Everything's free. Discord, everything's free. So by breaking 295, you think heading back down. Been very bullish for a week now. And the reason why I'm looking up is I'm playing with monitors. I actually, over Labor Day weekend, I adjusted my desk. I added 2 more monitors. So instead of 2 monitors, I now have 4 monitors. So I'm trying to figure out what the best method here is to see the chat, see the video, see everything that's going on. For SPY though, what I'm thinking of is we're now back at the top of this range. It's got to bust through. It's got to bust through if you're bullish, but the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, last 5 times it has not. So the last 4 times it has not. However, this range is starting to get tight. It's going to either bust through, or we're going to be seeing the bottom of this range again, and we could just be range bound for a while. Being range bound is not a bad thing for Andrew, the Discord link is below. I have it below in the description. Being range around is not a bad thing. I mean, we've been doing pretty well, but the one thing, I was watching CNBC today, and they were saying like traders are ruining the market because we have no direction and it's not encouraging people to invest. I'm like, hey, bro, why are you crying here? It's not our fault. It's not our fault that the market is stuck in a range. You gotta look at other things with politics. We got the elections coming up, and we're looking at potential economic growth slow down. I mean, I guess today there was a global report that globally, economically, things are looking better than what people thought. But it's always this, that, or the other. You know what I mean? It's like people come up with an excuse for why the market is up, and people come up with an excuse for why the market is down. Nobody truly knows why it's going up, and people don't really know why it's going down. People don't know, oh, why did we hit 233 this year or within the last year? This was at the end of the last year, and then we went straight up for like 5 months straight. Why did we do that? And if anybody could tell you, if anybody could tell you, they're probably billionaires or millionaires or whatever the case is, and I would. But right now this range is tight. I don't have an SPY position because it'd be very easy to buy calls here, but it's also there's a high probability that it could come back down to 290, 285. So that's why I haven't been swing trading in this. I've pretty much just been going with the direction on the daily. I mean, I know today was green. I was just shorting all day, which is probably why I only made $77. I mean, thankfully I am green. We are having a green week. We're kind of having a slower week, but I guess if you want to risk, I didn't really want to risk a whole lot today because I was afraid that, hey, we gapped up big. We could go back down to break even because that's what they've been doing a lot, and knowing that we're back at the top of the range. However, with SPY though, if you're looking, had a nice run in the close, but a lot of times that's misleading. We're back up to here where things just fell apart, and then we gap down again to the 290. So CNBC, they must not follow Trump on Twitter. Well, they report every tweet like it's a freaking news event every day. Anytime Trump farts, CNBC's like, oh, did you see what Trump said? Because all they care about is clicks and advertising. They just care that people click on their link. Oh, what did Trump say? I mean, when Trump's out of office eventually, I mean, all these media giants are going to be upset that they're going to be losing advertising, because I guarantee you the next president's not going to be as dramatic. They're going to be, well, as they say, more presidential. But hey, if you want to use Twitter to express yourself, let's go ahead. I guess it just means something different if you're the president of the United States. We all express ourselves, but when you're the president, I guess if you choose to express yourself that way, I mean, it has a different meaning, or there's more impact, I guess you could say. Boeing's only up $2 today. Anyways, it's nice chatting. Glad to go over it. We were green. If this video was of value to you guys, hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. As always, stay safe, stay green. It's always us versus herd.